Right. Are we all good? Are we all good?
Yep.
Spot on. Well, on 3 and 2 and 1 and ready to rock and roll. Welcome everyone to another episode of the ACCA Global Podcast. And today, or should I say this evening in the UK, I'm delighted to be joined by Daniel Chou today. Daniel, welcome on to the podcast.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and hello, James. Thank you for inviting me to have like this interesting not interview but podcast.
Oh, I mean, hardly an interview, Daniel, but with your levels of experience from a financial analysis, a senior manager, a chairperson as well, and managing director, I think you are in safe hands tonight. So you're all ready to go. Do not worry about it. But for the viewers, or should I say for the millions and billions of viewers out there, where are you tuning in from today?
Where am I? Sorry.
Where are you? The connection may be going on it because you are very far away from me. But where are you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Where are you coming in from today?
I'm in Toronto, Canada. So it's about 7-hour flight from London.
Yes, well, it's all right. We're not going on a sort of cup and string today, but whereabouts are you actually, where are you originally from as well?
I originally from Hong Kong. I grew up and finished my high school education, and
Nice.
I came to Toronto, Canada in 1985.
Wow. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what I was doing in 1985 because, you know, it wouldn't be a very
Well, you
good
haven't
story.
born yet.
Well, for the viewers as well, they can put any comments in the description below, but I can already tell I'm really going to enjoy this podcast, so it's all good. But so the viewers know as well, how do you and I know each other?
I was the chair of the ACCA Canada, I think back to 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an opportunity to attend the International Assembly in London. I think we met at that time. We were sitting in the breakout room, and I was very impressed, like your curiosity, excitement, and also like you're outgoing to reach out to newcomers.
Oh.
So yeah, I think like we connect at that time. Although our encounter was quite short, but I think from the LinkedIn we share the information to each other.
Oh, thank you for those very sweet words and everything. Good grief, I'm overwhelmed. But yes, everyone's now going, oh, James, how much did you pay Daniel to say that? But
$1 million.
Yeah, you didn't specify the currency though, so that was okay. But well, it's also a case of, well, this is one of the reasons for actually having the ACCA Global Podcast, so that people who are watching us from around the world can connect with us on LinkedIn, reach out, and it's a case so that they get to know us on a more sort of personal level as well. But the main reason for us as well, I mean, how many years have you been a qualified ACCA member?
Now, I remember like it's 2 years after my son's born.
Oh, that's nice.
How many? Like in 2005, if I remember correctly.
Lovely stuff. Yeah. Mine was 2017, so I'm still a newbie, but I don't know where the time goes though. It's just
the time flies, like because my son now is 6'4".
Right. I don't remember you being that tall though, top of my head.
No, I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
And my son is always like a squid baby from the first month.
Wow.
So like he keep growing. Like now it's so tall now.
Well, we can get on to what you've been feeding him later on into the podcast, but the final rule of the podcast is the guest gets to choose what drink we go for. So introduce to everyone listening, what drink have we gone for today?
Beer.
Oh, you see, and you can pop it up to the screen. This is the first beer. I'll cheers you up to the screen as of 2020. Look at that, he's got it in a container as well. Cheers, everyone. The first beer on the ACCA Global Podcast. I've been waiting for a long time for this.
It's probably like American style, like have a beer for casual talk.
Oh, wow. I mean, the conversation's just going to flow because you've got so much experience, and hopefully our words of wisdom are going to help people out there as well. But, I mean, coming on to the first area of the podcast, just to sort of get the ball rolling, would you like to introduce yourself, a bit of background, short and sweet, as to who is Daniel Chou?
Um, well, of course, like I'm accountant, so I quite enjoy the accounting education, but at the same time, I quite annoy with the repetitive work as an accountant. So I think in all my career, for the real financial accounting work lasts for about a year and a half because I need that experience to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So besides that, like I working in different area, but at the same time applying my accounting techniques, knowledge, and I find it's really, really helpful because, say for example, when I work for marketing, the people have no idea how to collect the numbers and build a proper forecast. So because of the accounting training, I am able to help them to build a very solid budget, solid forecasting, so they can use it to buy goods, to do promotion and control the cost, and also compensate the salespeople correctly.
Nice. Well, for anyone who is listening, who is into marketing, obviously the podcast is for everyone. It's okay. So what we're getting at is people from different backgrounds in terms of marketing, advertising, where I think they underestimate how important finance is in everyone's role now.
Yeah.
But having those diverse skills and being interested in marketing as well, it's something that I don't particularly shout about, but I am quite a marketing fan because it's so interesting to know the processes and how you can influence people as well.
Yeah. I think like as accountants, we have an advantage compared to many different professionals because like the training we receive, they all come to our numbers. Say like when you're working as accountant, you will see the transactions from the marketing, from the sales, from the warehouse. So you have to know how they work and how to help them to build a better business.
Yes.
Right. So for the salespeople, a lot of time like they may emphasize too much on the sales, but they forgot there's a cost associated to the sales as well. So because like you have all the numbers, so you can help them to understand like what is your profit means to the company, not the sales, but the profit right, to the shareholders, right? So a lot of things they have a very isolated knowledge on the area, but at the same time as accountant, you can consolidate all those knowledge and help to build a better business.
Spot on. Well, whilst we're on to building as well, as you can see from your lovely background, the viewers out there are going, good grief, what's Daniel got behind him? I mean, talk us through, what is that background? Where is it from?
Well, I think like I have very diverse interests. I think people like to say like a monkey mind. So I keep thinking like more than just accounting all the time. But I think that the first glass ceiling I broke is from using the IT to build my career. I remember at that time there is the very beginning of the IT ERP stage. So my company wanted to implement a new ERP system. It's Oracle based. When I heard the news, I find like this is very interesting because I always like very good in Excel or in spreadsheet at that time. But I thought like there may be like an opportunity for me to be ahead of other people. So I started to go to the bookstore and read all the books related to Oracles.
Right.
So about the database, Oracle, and how the system work. Of course, like at that time, I was like only reading. But I have no practical experience.
Mm.
So about 3 months later, and then they start to roll out the ERP system to the company. So everything goes wrong. So I volunteer myself to help to solve the problems because of my knowledge of the business and also the knowledge about the database. I find like my solution really help to keep the business flowing and find out like what's the problem, the bugs in the implementation. So the company was really appreciate my efforts. So I got promoted at that time.
Nice.
Right.
And,
so you helped me at that time like to really think ahead and prepare and work on it.
Nice. Well, just coming back onto the question as well, to the building in your background as well, what does it relate to as well, so the viewers know and understand?
Now, my background is
Yeah.
like in accounting, right?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, come on, Daniel, professional. I've told you, professional on the podcast. Your background behind you.
Oh, the background. I thought like my career background. Sorry, like this is something.
Now, viewers. Daniel has not had about 5 beers or anything like that. I've only had a little sip of mine, but
Yeah.
talk us through your I mean, I can talk you through my background. This is where I do my recording for anyone who's interested in my other videos. But your background's far more interesting than mine. Talk us through it.
Oh, that beautiful picture. It's a Muslim art museum in Toronto. So the picture was taken quite a number of years ago. So at that time, we had a ACCA event in the museum. So after I walk out, finish the event, walk out, and I see like the sky was combining like a beautiful picture. So I took a couple of pictures. So one of my favorite scenery is no makeup here. It's all original.
Wow, you're definitely the best photographer we've had on the podcast. So don't you worry about that.
One time I want to be a photographer too, but it never come true.
Well, remember, never say never. There's always time. Yeah. Don't you worry about that. But this nicely leads us on to other areas of interest that you have, because lots of people assume that accountants are just, you have a calculator, you count beans, all this sort of stuff as well. But we're going to come on to our quickfire round now, where you don't know any of these questions for the viewers out there if you're listening for the first time. But it's a case of Daniel's got 2 options that he has to pick from, and we get to know about him a bit more. So I always ask this one, got to come on to it. Would you say you're a morning person or an evening person?
I would say now I'm a morning person because I need to work from the morning. But a lot of time, like in the past, like before the pandemic, I would say I'm a night person because my daytime was occupied by my office work. So at nighttime, like I have to keep my interest going so I can keep my spirits up. So I would stay like a very late at night.
Wow. Well, we're going to be coming on to that later as well. But everyone knows I'm a big morning person. Whether that's getting up for a run, recording, whatever it may be. Always up early, do that first thing, get it out of the way straight away. On for a positive day, shall we say. But yeah. I think the viewers and I already know the answers to this one. But do you prefer books or do you prefer audio? And this
I prefer audios.
Oh, right. Oh, is that sort of audio books in itself or?
Audiobooks, I have thousands of audiobooks in my library.
Right.
So yeah, I find like this is one of the best invention in human history. So when I drive, when I doing housework, I can always listen.
What's your favorite book if you had to pick one then?
I think like one of the book I really appreciate is called The Talent Code.
Talent Code. Oh right.
Yeah, I forgot who's the writer. But that book they talk about how to learn and how to keep a open mind, growth mindset to learn.
Yes.
So that book really changed a lot of perception about failure.
Yes.
And how to learn as well. So, say for example, like when the people play music, they always play from the page one, and then try page two and page three, and see it note by note. But from the talent code, they say like you can play backward, because like it will give you a totally different perspective about the music.
Yeah.
You can play in the middle, pick a section and make it perfect, and then go to another section. So this is a way to learn as well. There's no one way of learning to achieve the result. So there's so many different way to learn. And also saying about like people have the affective disorder symptoms. This is only a perception as well, based on the author. Because if you put that person in the boys' school, so everybody is so energetic. So that person become an average person. But you put them in the co-ed school, the person become exception.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all about the perception. When you're changing the perceptions, like you have a different way of learning and seeing things.
Yes. Oh, no, I was reading a piece on that recently about people who have a fixed mindset of this is the way it's always been and this is how we do it, versus someone with a growth mindset and perspective.
Yeah.
I do think that, I don't know if it comes with age or anything on those lines, but when you start to read around your subject as well, obviously you and I have read loads on accounting and standards and implementing it at work, but I found that I've got more interest now learning about other areas like psychology, where it may be, mindset, personal finance. And it's just amazing. It's just, lots of people think when they finish ACCA, then it's just, I finished ACCA, I'm going to get a job that I really want, and then that's it. When in actual fact, I don't know about you, but it's just bit more learning as well.
Yeah. Now, it helps me to remember, like I remember the ACCA have done a research on the future of accountancy, and they came to 7 quotients of the future accountants, right? So technical skills is only one of them.
Right.
Right. So they're talking about the EQ, they talk about the vision, creativity, like all those cannot learn from accounting itself. So you have to combine different disciplines, and in order to achieve that 7 quotients.
Well, you never know. It could be Daniel and James are number 8 on that list. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll have to amend the report or something. That'll be it. But coming on to it, I try and predict the answer to these, and the viewers may do as well. But would you say you're a high-tech person or a low-tech person?
I would say like I'm a high-tech person.
Right. Okay. And what's your usual gadgets that you'd use on a sort of daily basis, or do you use it to try and make your life more efficient, productive? What would you say?
Well, I would say like I would learn how to make it more efficient. If something need to repeat more than 3 times, I will automate it.
Yes.
If in Excel, that could be building a macro to finish the job. Or if this is a multi-platform, I build a robot to finish the job.
Nice. Yeah. Or the other one is completely delegate it or get rid of it if you don't really have to. There's
Yeah, so simplified, streamline is one of the key things. But for me, I like to computerize many things together. So that helps to collect the information, report the information. So a lot of time, like we spend almost like 80% of the time to crunching the numbers or struggle to prepare. But if you can automate it, so you can spend maybe 20% of your resources to do those work, and then the 80% you can do analysis to add value to the results, right? So those would be something I like to do all the time.
Oh, keep it easy for yourself, because once it's automated as well, you don't have to think about it. That's the other thing. So then your mind, I read a piece on Elon Musk where he automates as much as he can, because then his mind can focus on the creativity parts as well. So who'd have thought that wasn't me comparing you to Elon Musk. It's okay. So no pressure on that one. It's all right. But coming on to the next one, which lots of people assume different things of being accountants, but would you say you're a spender or a saver?
That's a good question. I would say like I spend based on the results.
Okay, so what I mean, we've talked about audiobooks as well, but what else would you say you spend your money on that you think that is going to be a good purchase that's going to add value to me?
Um, I would say like I spend or invest in education.
Mm-hmm.
If this is any good education, I'm willing to spend the money and really learn something new
Yeah.
or enrich my knowledge. Um, I'm not a conservative in spending, but at the same time, like I need to, like any accountant, would do like a lot of calculation to make sure like that spending really worth it.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, most people think that it's a case of most accountants are rigorous spenders. Savers, should I say, as well, because they understand all
Yeah.
the money and stuff. But just talk us through. You graduated from the University of California as well, because you did some learning there. What was that involving?
Well, I finished like a certificate in blockchain from that institution because a couple of years ago, University of Berkeley was one of the leading trainer in that field. Of course, now the blockchain become more popular, so there's more institutions offer those training classes. So I was very curious about what's blockchain and what they can do. So I was spend like invest
Yeah.
money to attend those courses, and I found like it really opened my eyes about the new things. And from that time, I started to build some foundation and continue my training and learning and working in that field.
All right. So what are your insights on blockchain, would you say then, or how can you see it changing our future?
Um, I think from business perspective, the blockchain has a very large implication that will change how we uh, manage business across multiple platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like say, for example, like when we do business in China, say like if I want to um, order some manufacturing products, so I need to go through a purchase order sent to China,
Mm-hmm.
and China need to order the materials and then start to manufacture and ship back here,
Yeah.
go through the customs, so and so. So the whole process is all paperwork, and they have a lot of reconciliation problem because like what happened if the materials are not right, so and so. But with the blockchain, it's like a pipeline. So through the smart contract, everybody can see the information in real time,
Ah, right. I see. Yeah. Start to
right?
finish.
Yeah. So also like for the warranty service and product improvement, and blockchain can help as well. Say if one of the product become defective, so we want to trace back, okay, what component in the process was wrong. So because the blockchain keep all the record from the first order, so we know through like the whole process which material or manufacturing process went wrong. So we can identify that easily. Okay, so that will become a very important development in
The process.
making the things into one transactions. So imagine like although like we all computerized, but at the same time we only computerize within ourselves. So how do you connect to the other side of the world or the other side of the supply chain, manufacturing, shipping? So all those can make a big difference. The technology is also like moving on, like I say, like the Internet of Things, IoT. So that would contribute a new data flow to the blockchain as well. So we can keep track of the things like from real time. So when the truck moving from one destination to the other, so the IoT can check like the temperature of the truck, the speed of the truck, not a GPS, but like they can keep track of everything. So you can reward the truck driver for good work based on those information.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Plus, on top of that, with artificial intelligence coming into the system as well, where in the
Yeah.
next few years we could see a massive drive in terms of everything from efficiency, productivity, new systems as well. And
Yeah.
I think our role changing as well. That when you go into a workplace, it's less number crunching and more sort of
Yeah.
putting the pieces of the puzzle together and understanding the process and then communicating that to people who don't necessarily understand it as well, I think will be a big part.
Yeah.
That's
I think like our educational system need to update to really help the students find jobs in the future. Because like if we're still talking about debit and credit and how to prepare financial statements, without um, the knowledge about how the new business will look like, we are very behind.
I think it's still key that they understand the concepts of it, how
Yeah.
the accounts are made from start to finish, but then they've got to be developing those other skills on the side and just sort of get curious as well as to where do I really want to go and work and what am I interested in? Because as you and I know, it's a long time working, so it's a case of you better do something you enjoy.
Well, I play a lot of classical music,
Hmm.
and also martial art. Um, I think like all those are developed from childhood as well.
Hmm.
My mom is a music teacher, so she trained us and put me on the organ to play in the church when I was grade 6.
Right.
And then I have a chance to learn from my cousin on the flute. So and then start to like keep playing and playing and playing and enjoying everything, playing with people. And
Mm.
also the martial arts as well. I remember like when I was in Form 1, um, I like because my high school is very close to my house. It's just across the street.
Hmm.
So I like to go into the school very early in the morning, and there are a whole bunch of old people was playing Tai Chi. So I just like keep watching, and then like the master say like, "Come on, boys, like join us." So I then start to learn from him for the next 5 years. So
Oh,
and then like
nice.
I practice like different martial art like a karate, taekwondo, but at the end like still very enjoy playing tai chi because I
Mm.
find like this is something like would keep your health, keep your spirit and calm all the
Mm.
time, right? Especially like when you move on to like older age like me, so the tai chi really help to keep you flexible, stable, and also able to protect yourself, like in some cases.
Yeah, Daniel, old age. Come on, utter rubbish. Come on, mid-30s. What is going on right now? Come on, you're doing yourself disjustice.
Yeah, well, thank you. I will pay you $1 million for that.
And also, I did when you and I first met. I didn't realize that you were at Tai Chi and martial arts. And anyone who knows me, I'm quite relaxed on things, and I say bad jokes. So thankfully, you didn't karate chop me or anything like that.
Oh no, no. We have very good self-discipline, especially when they come into conflict.
Wow, well, yes. Anyone from Canada who's watching now, it's a case of they might bump into you in the office or anything like that. But
But it's an interesting learning experience. Like for me, like everything is through learning and practice.
yes, well, consistency, and you obviously enjoyed it as well because you've built it into a habit. That's the other thing in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah,
rock and roll. Well, I mean, we could talk about many things upon. See, this is what happens when I have a chat to someone who I get along with as well. It's like the International Assembly Day all day, isn't it? Again, back again. But we've got to come on to more about you now as well. The viewers want to know more about your sort of experience, your sort of background as well. So, sort of maybe just talk us through why you got into accounting in the first place, or what sort of prompted you into it.
Well, I remember like the first time I heard about accountant, the name about accountant is about like in the primary school. I have no idea about what this accountant or accounting means,
Hmm.
but I saw those people counting money, uh, recording the money. So I thought like those people must be very rich. So I say like I will be accountant so I can make a lot of money. So this is like how I start to know and curious about what accounting for. And then my first accounting education in Form 4. So the first time I learned about debit and credit. So and then when I went home, I told my mom, like from now on, every single transaction in my house or in your house, they have to have a debit and credit. So that will help me to practice like every day. I opened a book to record like the journal. So that would be an interesting journey for me to start in accounting. So in university, I chose economics and accounting as my major. But when I finish work, I have two choices. So either like to play music or to work for a company as a management trainee. So I think like I always like follow my parents' advice. They say like learning art, music is a good habit, but at the same time like you need to bring the food to the table. So I chose to be working in the business side. So this is like how I start my accounting and business career, right?
Lovely.
But at the same time, like I never stop like appreciate like the music, how the people learn music. Because like when you listen to professional play, so easy. It's easy to criticize other people's effort. But when you learn to play music and you know how difficult to achieve to that stage. So every single note will take a long time to practice to achieve to that stage. So I don't criticize people. I also like appreciate that people put effort to do the work because I know it's not that easy.
Wow. Well, I must say, if Daniel's mum is listening into this interview as well, obviously it's your house, not Daniel's house. It's okay. It's like, Mum, here are the debits and credits of my house from now on.
Yeah, she's 89 years old. Like she's still like quite healthy.
Oh, lovely. Well, you can give a shout out to your mum if you want, Daniel. It's all right.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. So, and we've also touched on your roles sort of within ACCA. So the viewers know if they're based in Toronto or back in Hong Kong, what sort of roles have you had in ACCA?
Well, my roles at ACCA start from like after I received my designations. ACCA was quite small in Canada at that time. They don't have any formal office or full-time staff. But I start to attend like all those seminars and start to get to know the people.
Yeah.
I really enjoy like how those people engage to help other ACCAs like in Canada. And then a few years later, we have a full-time ACCA office. They locate in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Because like ACCA has right now, I believe over 6,000 members and over 12,000 students living in Canada. So it's the eighth largest market for ACCA. Right. So we have 3 full-time ACCA staff working to build the brand, to build the connection with the employers, educational institutions, and also like bring the members together.
Nice. Wow. Well, if I ever pop over to Toronto, ACCA Canada, don't worry. Daniel and James, we've got this. It's okay. We'll command that stage. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that wasn't a reluctant yes as well. But
well, when you come to Canada, like you will find like a lot of things very interesting. So quite like that. I will keep it quiet this time, so let you explore.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. Well, we'll keep them on their toes. In fact, we'll just turn up at the door and say, yeah, we're here. You invited us a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
But what actually enticed you to go out to Canada as well? There'll be viewers out there who's thinking, oh, I'd love to go to Canada. What made you make the leap to go?
I came to Canada as a visa student. So there's no particular reason, probably because of the visa is easier to get to come to Canada compared to US. So I came to Canada I think, by accident,
Yeah.
or this is like the path for me to go.
You didn't get on the wrong plane, did you, or anything like that? But
Well, I don't regret. This is a wonderful country,
mm,
wonderful people, wonderful country. I would say we we are very peaceful
mm,
and respect each other. We have multiculturalism in here.
mm.
In any places, you will see like all kind of color, and people respect each other and enjoy other people's culture as well.
Nice. Well, just so you know, Daniel, as well, tonight on the podcast, I had requests from Justin Bieber, Celine Dion, Ryan Reynolds, all of these Canadians who said, James, please, can I come on your podcast? I really want to talk about ACCA.
Wow. Okay.
And I said, no. Justin, I'm really sorry. Daniel's my guy. Daniel's my guy today. So you're ahead of a few Canadians in my book. Don't you worry about that.
That would be honor to be on your book.
Oh, it's a big book. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But so have you done your? Is it CPA as well out in Canada?
Yes. Well, ACCA is not officially recognized in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So the CPA is official destination, but fortunately, ACCA and CPA has mutual recognition agreements.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a problem for most of the CCA convert to the Canadian destinations. But CPA require a university degree.
Mm-hmm.
So because ACCA doesn't require, like you can start from high school.
Yeah.
So that would become a challenge. But I think ACCA has opening different channels for the people to get a bachelor degree on a fast track, so they can qualify for the CPA as well.
Right. Oh, nice. Oh, well, it's fantastic. And the more ties you can build out there, and hopefully ACCA will continue to grow, then it's only going to encourage more people to make that leap as well. Because going from, I mean, what was it like going from, say, Hong Kong over to Canada as well? Probably a bit of a culture shock, or how would you describe it for anyone who may be thinking about doing that?
I didn't feel that way because probably I was a teenage at that time, so it's very easy to adjust to a new culture. But the people would come with an older age, with the family. The kids love to stay in Canada, but a lot of parents, I find usually they struggle to find an ideal job. Because some people I know, they were very prominent business people, leaders in their own industry, in their own country. But when they come to Canada, the things are quite different. I have a lot of ACCAs to look for jobs in Canada. One of the things I find is they have not done enough research or understand about what the Canadian market look like or requirement. Say for the resumes, we do not accept resume with pictures, religions, or age on it. So if the employers look at those information, they just put it in the garbage because this is not acceptable.
Oh, right? I didn't know that. Gosh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because we do not discriminate the people on the age, race, or any kind of background. We're trying to do it on an equal level.
Nice.
And also, most of the resume I saw, they usually only describe what they did. So imagine all the accounting can do the same thing. So why should I hire you? Right. So the employers usually like to see the person on a more qualitative side. Say, for example, the leadership, creativities, teamwork. So they should see it because we want a person can work together.
Yeah.
Right? And also the resume should talk about something they're proud of, say the achievements. What kind of saving they make for the employers, what kind of improvement they make for the employer. And you can put it into some quantitative numbers, say in percentage,
Mm.
in dollar. Okay, so those would be something like would make your resume stand out among other accountants' resumes.
Wow. Well, I can tell you now, in terms of a bit of advice, that if you put on your resume that you've been on the ACCA Global Podcast and you've influenced millions of people and millions of viewers, poof, just you'll be fine. Don't you worry about that. So
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. So I reviewed quite a number of resumes from the ACCA's. So after they make the improvements, and also on the interview side as well, because a lot of time they find like the Canadian experience is one of the hurdle or obstacle for them to get a job. But I know this is not true. This is not true because we appreciate the Canadian experience, but at the same time, it's only one thing that we need. Because international experience can also bring a lot of positive contribution to the organization as well.
Yeah.
So how do you turn those negative aspects into a positive contribution to your interviewer? So that would be something like they need to prepare. So I always encourage them to prepare the questions, because in 1 hour interview, usually they have about 10 questions. Okay, and those questions usually are quite standard as well. So you can research and try to look at as many questions, and you'll find some very common theme on each type of questions, and then write it down, edit them, and rehearse them. So talk very natural about. So in that 6 minutes of answer or 5 minutes of answer, okay, you should able to sell yourself, identify like what is the best thing, identify the problem, and let the employers know that you can do the job.
Yeah.
Right? There's always like a preparation, a very detailed preparation. There's no room for improvisation. Because some people usually the first question like you ask me tell me something about yourself. Usually the first question in the interview is tell me something about yourself. So you have 5 minutes to sell yourself something related.
Yes.
I heard people saying, "Oh, I like to play soccer. I like to read books. I have been working in so many different things and blah, blah, blah." But that question was very specific to the job. That's what I want to hear.
Yes,
I want to hear something that, okay, you have the experience, knowledge, and that what's called
expertise.
Expertise, to work for me. So that will give you an overview for introducing yourself. It's a sales.
Yeah.
If people they want to buy a car, and you want to sell them a boat, so you definitely it is a fail, right? So that preparation will help them to really prepare to answer those questions. There's no time, no second thought. Like writing exams, you don't want to create a new answer. You just write down whatever you prepare.
Yeah, it's almost like a free hit question as well, I see it as, because it's a case of, tell me something about yourself. Oh, hello, my name is James. I'm previously from the UK. I'm here in Canada because, and then you lead it on as to, I'm good at this. And then because of this is what I can offer the team, little things like that.
So those need a rehearse a lot of time, right? Also research the industry, research about the company.
How many people turn up with no interest in the company? It amazes me. Yeah,
because I have friends there's a VP from a major bank in Canada. When I talk about the people come to interview, they said there's a couple of co-op students want to work for the bank. They said my friend asked them have you read the financial report from? No.
Yeah, who's the chief executive officer or something on those lines?
What kind of accounting? What does our revenue look like? What kind of charge?
Yeah.
So always think from the other side of the table. If I'm the hiring manager, what kind of person I'm looking for? I want to hire a person have good personality, good attitude, able to learn, and also they can contribute and solve my problems.
Yes. The two major things you mentioned there as well it's a case of one. I love how you said actually to sell yourself, because so many people I hear from now, they go, oh, but I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that. It's an interview. You've got to go and sell yourself. That's the main point of it. And then secondly, adding value. It's a case of if they put you in that company, where are you going to add value and help the process? Because they've got to think from their side, they've got to envisage you fitting in. That's the key thing there, which it does amaze me in terms of, and just sort of, why do you want to work there? That's it.
Yeah, so I think like it's a confidence to present yourself is something that you need to be trained. When I remember when I was a kid, my father trained us like to make public speech. So he asked us to stand in front of the mirror. So if you look at the mirror, you don't like yourself, the people won't like you.
Yes.
So look at the mirror and make yourself look great in front of the mirror. So you will look great in front of other people.
Wow.
So the same thing for interview. Like you present yourself, okay. Now ACCA destination is one thing, or CPA destination is one thing, but it's only a very small part of the consideration.
Yes.
Because all the job applicants have destinations.
Well, Daniel, do not worry. I know this is a mild interview, but don't worry. You look great today, and I like your Run T-shirt as well. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Are you going for a run today, or are you going after this?
No, because I work from home, so I usually dress casual. Because of this podcast, I put my jacket on.
We've got to run casual or something like that.
Yeah. But there's a good thing, like now, like I can dress casual at home, so that will probably like reduce some of the clothing expenses.
Oh, nice. Well, one of the other questions I had earlier. Well, we can come on to now as to the other round of getting to know you a bit more to nicely move it on in terms of a professional presenter here. As to one of the questions earlier was, are you a suit guy or are you a sportswear guy? But I think we're probably going to go more sportswear at the moment. But yes.
I would dress according to the situation.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
But coming on to more of the open-ended questions, so the viewers get to know a bit more about you as well. In terms of the first question I always ask all of my my lovely guests, it's a case of, if you could listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who is that one artist or band that you really, really like?
There are different artists, mostly they're classical artists. One of them I really enjoy is Alfred Rubinstein.
Right.
The other one is Glenn Gould.
Right. Are
I'm
they?
not sure, like you heard of Glenn Gould.
Are they pianists or?
Yeah, they both of them are pianists.
Right.
Alfred Rubinstein is like one of the best Chopin pianists. Like his interpretation of Chopin is still like one of the best in the history. Glenn Gould, I think like he's famous for his Bach music. I think it's one of the reasons I came to Canada, because of Glenn Gould.
Oh, right. Oh,
because I want to find out like where's how he achieved for that interpretation of the Bach music. So both of them are very different personality, different characteristics. Like Alfred Rubinstein was a born talent, but his real change to be a real artist is after 45 years old.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he played beautifully before 45, but there's no content.
Oh, interesting.
So the audience speak for that. So he closed the door, focused on practicing for about 5 years, and came back again. And at that time, everything changed.
Wow.
Right.
Never
So
too late.
Glenn Gould, like the music, people find like the music is cold. It's like a machine, but at the same time, like I kind of agree, but also disagree, because he has a lot of passion from his music, except like his way to present it is like clean and cold. Right. So I guess it's a very personal feeling about the artist, but classical music is still my favorite songs. So I listen to them whenever I can.
Well, what I'll do is I'll give them a listen. I'll ping it over to you. Any songs I find interesting. So don't worry about that. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But my favourite pianist is Elton John. I must say he's very much an entertainer. I don't know if are you a fan of Elton or?
Oh yes, his music's beautiful.
Oh, there we go. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing Elton to you because he does have a song called Daniel as well.
Daniel, yeah.
Yes.
There's a cloud in the eyes, right?
You can start singing now if you want. It's okay.
Yeah. No, he's one of my favorites pop music.
Oh, there we go. You said any Elton John track I like. I mean, Take Me to the Pilot. There are so many out there as well. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. So many good albums out there as well.
Yeah. I think my first songs from Elton John is A Candle in the Wind.
Ah, right. Most people know Candle in the Wind or Your Song, I think it is, because they use it in all the Christmas adverts as well. So,
Yeah, beautiful.
So if you weren't an accountant, would you say that you would have gone on to be a classical music artist, or do you think you'd go on to do something a bit different?
Well, I think it's too late to say.
Wow, before we came on, before we stated earlier, photography is an area of interest for you.
Well, I think it's almost an amateur habit instead like more into it. So, like when I was younger, before like the digital camera came out, it was film, and film is very expensive. Very, very expensive. But I bought my first camera is Minolta. So I took a lot of pictures when I traveled to Japan, traveled to other places. Like I took a lot of pictures, but the cost for developing, keeping the pictures are very expensive. But I enjoy like that moment for click it, and then like that moment was there. Plus like you have to combine like the light, the setting together. I remember like one of the pictures I took from Japan. So when I bought to the film development shop, so after like before I pick up the pictures, they asked me like one of the pictures they want to keep it and post it in front of the door. It was a pond of golden fish was swimming in circle, and the water coming out from the fall, and that picture was really combining the actions and static into one picture. So the film, the film shop, the owner really like it. They say like I can give you a free service for this time. So, but if you can let me have the picture. So yeah, I think like I just bought my Nikon camera. So I find like maybe sometimes like I can continue to develop the interest.
Oh, nice. Well, we're going to have to talk about, because I'm over here in the UK at the moment. We're talking about photography and photos. You told me a lovely story before we came on air about when you came over to London once. Are you able to share that with the viewers?
Oh yes. Hopefully like that person is not there anymore. The first time I traveled to Europe, it was backpack as a not teenage, probably 20, 21, 22 years old. So London was my first stop. So I spent a lot of time to walk around the London town, and then one of the tourist site is the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a camera at that time. So there was an English gentleman came over to talk to me, say, I'm a photographer. So I can take some picture for you. And then after I develop, I can mail it back to you. So he took some picture, seriously took some pictures and write down my address and take 30 pounds for me. So of course those pictures never arrived. So about 10 years later, so I took my mom's and sister traveled to London again. So we lived in another section of the city. So the day we left, I was walking on the street and I heard somebody say, "I'm a photographer, I can take some picture for you." And then I looked back and saw the same guy, okay, talking to 4 Japanese students. Is a tourist, Japanese student at that time. And the camera he has is changing from a film camera to a digital camera. So he updated himself.
He's gone up.
But same guy, same scam, and try to like scam the tourists again. Same business. And he never got caught. I believe like he wasn't in jail yet.
Wow. Well, next time you come over to the UK and we catch up in London, don't you worry about that. We know who we're going to go see.
Yeah, but just need to be careful. Yeah, when I travel Europe, like there were so many different excitement like to share.
Yes. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, we obviously at the moment with COVID can't go traveling. But what's the main thing you want to do after COVID? Are you looking to travel overseas or?
Oh, definitely. Because before COVID, I planned to travel to London and Romania in April, and then everything got canceled or postponed. Right. But when the COVID become a non-issue, yeah, definitely I would like to travel again.
If you go to Romania, there's lovely Bucharest there, which is an absolutely beautiful city. I've never been to it before, but it's on my list to go. Oh, we'll go together.
Yeah, I have quite a number of friends from Romania. So I always joke like, do you guys like really scared of living among the vampires and the dragons?
Oh, I'm fine to travel wherever. I'm quite easygoing on these things, but I understand.
Do you know what they say? You know what they say? Like the vampires, and they say for the tourist.
Oh, the vampires are there for the tourist.
Not for them.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open next time I go. Otherwise, you'll be my guide if we go to Romania. How about that?
Oh, so 2 blind people leading each other, so we'll see where to go.
Well, no, that's the blind leading the blind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that a term that some people use for management? I don't know, but oh dear. But how nicely to lead it on from the blind leading the blind to insights and experiences to coming on to our last bit as to, well, for anyone who's listening out there, what is your biggest life lesson that you just sort of would just like to say to anyone listening that you've learned so much from your accountancy experience? What advice would you give to anyone?
I think my advice is there's no one way to achieve the success. There's many paths you can walk on. You can learn, fail, move on, fail, move on, fail, and you will see like every single failure, every single success will become part of your experience. So you are growing. So there's no disappointment. For me, like I make some mistakes in my career, part in my life as well, but all those become a resources for me to build a better path. So I think like this is something for the people I know. A lot of time like they seeing, oh, I don't have a CPA destination, how can I get a job in Canada? But remember, okay, the knowledge help you to get a job, not the CPA. CPA is only a name, 3 letters. ACCA training, ACCA knowledge you learn from all those years, okay, will help you to become a very outstanding accountant, a business person as well.
I think hitting on failure there as well. I don't know about you from your experience working in various countries, but lots of people seem to have little resilience as to failing on different things. It's just a case of, I've failed on loads of stuff in terms of, like one of the podcasts, which I'll openly admit on this episode, just to you, Daniel, as a little insight, that I once recorded a podcast and forgot to press record, which wasn't very good in terms of it, but we failed on it. We got it wrong. and we learn from it. So when we go through the checks now, it's all okay. And then at work, we have little failures. So I'm quite open on my channel to say I failed ACCA exams. So many people think if you fail an ACCA exam, then it's just the end of the world, and then that's it. Game over. It's just. Whew.
Well, I think failures in writing exams, like I'm a very typical examples too. I fail in exams, or get a very low grade in exams all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean I cannot learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the exams or the learning materials is not suitable for you.
Mm.
Say for example, when I was in Hong Kong, and because the education is very rely on memories,
mm-hmm.
and we rely on the answers. So I didn't do well because I don't like to memorize things and get only one answer.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came to Canada, the learning environment started to change. Okay, here we encourage the student to think outside what is other answers means to you. We do not say that this is wrong. We say this is a alternative way of doing things.
Like that. That's good. Yes.
Right. So failure, is not something that you need to feel sad or depressed. Okay. Of course, before you take an action, you need to do all the calculated risk to make sure you account for all the possibilities. But when you have done all those things, failure will add to your experience.
No, I agree with that. And the learning process, I like that from Canada as well, about asking the right questions as well and getting people to think outside the box, because that's where the best ideas come from, and you get creativity and you get a better bond within the team as well, wherever you're working.
Yeah. So I think the culture in most of the cultures, they encourage success people. We all look at the people who are successful. They post their pictures in the magazines and talk. But if you ask them how many failures, for you to achieve to that stage, so they will tell you a totally different story. Right? To really to make yourself a better person is keep reading. There's so many good books, good materials outside. Keep reading them. Piece by piece. Maybe today, you read it, you don't quite understand it, but keep reading. So those things would build into your memory, build into your brains. So when there's other things come up, those things would come up to help you to see the thing from a different perspective.
And understanding that other people have other ideas on it as well. That's why I love watching different people's podcasts or reading books that people recommend to me on different things, and they say, give it a try. And I go, yes, brilliant. If I trust your opinion on it, brilliant. I'll give it a read and we'll debate on it. We'll have a proper conversation, and then you'll hear my point, you'll have the other point. Yeah. That's, proper conversation, or should we say proper academic conversation?
Yeah.
But, So what does the future hold for Daniel Chou, shall we say? I mean, if there's someone listening out there who's saying, how could I interact with you, Daniel, as to what do you see yourself going in the future? What sort of area of expertise are you going to focus on?
Well, I'm now preparing for the new digital world now. So I have been involved in the robotic automation, blockchains, the fintech in the last few years already. So I believe that will help me to see or work on the new future business world. For me, I used to be teaching Excel for CPA, but Excel is a very good tool, but I think the usefulness come to the end.
Interesting.
Gosh. Yeah, you can still use Excel to do a lot of work, but in order to make Excel as a career, to build your career, is come to the end. So now it's time to focus on automation, time to focus on blockchain, to see where you can find a place in those areas.
find your niche in terms of what particular sector are you particularly interested in?
Well, right now I'm running a consulting business to help the business understand their needs. Okay. Now, not all the business need to apply the new technologies. No, the new technology is an alternative, an option for you, but it's not something you must have it, to be successful. So I help the business to understand like what is the way to improve the business process, because a lot of time a business is just keep running, but it's called a don't break, don't fix.
Yes, yeah, it's just sort of just carries on. Yeah.
But when you look at like a process, okay, so you will have to reduce cost, reduce error, make it more efficient, and then now you can use the resources you save from keeping the process running to look at new business opportunities.
Yes, no, I agree with you.
Yeah. So this is many different way to apply the technologies. Okay, new technologies may not for everybody yet. Okay, but you have to know, you have to prepare, because like when the opportunities come, only the one prepared they will take advantage of it.
Yes. Better to prepare for an opportunity that arises than not to be prepared for the opportunity at all, basically. That's, gosh, that's fantastic stuff. Now, I mean, where does the time go? What time is
it? Oh my God.
Yes, I know. It's been delightful, Daniel. Where does the time go? You see, we should do this more often, but it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, I must say. But for the viewers out there, are there any sort of final things on your mind that you just say, James, I forgot to mention that. Talk us through any final points for anyone listening out there.
Yeah, well, I would say like for anybody, is a path, is a journey. Like every single steps, every single stop, okay, you would enjoy it instead of regret it. Because when you look back, everything is nothing. Because like their history, right? I remember like in the Kung Fu Panda, the turtle master saying, yesterday is history. Okay, today is what? Today, the future is a mystery, and today is whatever. Like I forgot, like what is. So when we look at the things, okay, we enjoy the moment we have today, and plan for the future. So what happened in the future, we do not know. So don't worry too much about it.
Yeah,
you prepare for it.
Spot on. Gosh, yeah. Enjoy the journey. We'll make do with the destination. That'll always come, won't it? Yeah. Enjoy the process. That's it. Epic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, coming on to the final part of the podcast, because I must say, thank you so much for your time. But look, this is what everyone who comes onto the podcast gets, and I don't want to drop it. This is your acorn over here in the UK that I'm going to plant for you this weekend as well. Look at that. She's a beauty, isn't she? Look at that. Yeah. So that's going to be a lovely oak. And if you're in the UK, you are more than welcome to come visit it. It's all right. I'll send you an updated, lovely photograph of the pot and some.
When you become a tree, I will sign my name on it.
I'll put Daniel in chalk on the pot or something. That'll be it.
Thank you.
Gosh, well, I really hope you've enjoyed today as well. Have you enjoyed it? It's been lovely to catch up, I must say.
Well, thank you for inviting, and this is a wonderful time with you. This is something like I can, the beer, I can share like with other listeners or viewers of your podcast, and also I wish you like all the best, because I can tell like I met different young people, and you are one of them. I'm very impressed and find like you have very unique things like I would like to learn from you as well.
Oh, well, I've told you, Daniel, you're more than welcome to collaborate. We'll work on things in the future. I have no doubt in it. But I must say that they are very sweet words, honestly. You're an absolute gem when I first met you as well. You're very, very kind, very understanding gentleman, I must say. And you must have thought, who's this young chap who's sat next to me? And good grief, what's he talking about? But I think ACCA Canada will have to watch this space because I think you and I will work on something in the future. So that will be the insight from today's podcast on it. But
well, keep in touch and make sure you let me know when you come to Toronto.
Oh, Daniel, it will be an absolute pleasure, and we'll keep in touch anyway. I mean, I'm going to send you Elton John songs, so do not worry about that. That's okay.
Yeah.
But for everyone who is listening out there as well, I hope you've enjoyed it today as well. If you'd like access to all of the actual episodes as well, the subscribe button for the channel will be down below, so you get access to all of my free materials out there. We'll look in the comments as well, so if you've got any questions for us, feel free to put it below. Let us know what you think, and feel free to give it a massive like as well. That's all good. But just to come back to again, thank you so much, Daniel, for coming on today and your time as well. Definitely the best run casual guest I've ever had and will ever have, I must say. So,
the next one will be Celine Dion, so really enjoy this.
Hey, we're gonna go for karaoke in Toronto. I'll tell you now, that'll be it. But thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I hope you have a lovely day as well. But as always, on that bombshell, we will see you next time. So thank you very much, Daniel, and cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.